So you can take your nose over to another air show gear up pass.
It's known, I believe, as the senior span pod, isn't it? On those planets that's used larger than the super pods.
So the profile that you're seeing now is what the U-2 would be doing if it had an actual flame out. The drag that you're seeing is simulating the drag of the loss of thrust. So really the U-2 is a glider with an engine.
Yeah. Take off straight into its display, which it'll do in very short order. This is the incredible Lockheed U-2S.
Oh, really?
The unit flying again. Let's talk about the configuration of this aircraft. This isn't something we've seen in a flying program before. Now, what you're seeing today is multiple sensors that will part of operational mission. You've got signals intelligence on board. You see it moving on the wings. Those are not fuel tanks, but actually where the mission equipment lies. Looking and listening as it is. The imagery sensor on the nose, synthetic aperture radar, and the javelin on the back of the airplane. A small satellite dish just that shoots off stage that takes the information that comes into the airplane, puts it through satellite architecture to a ground station where it can disseminate the information to the appropriate commanders. So you can take your nose over to another air show gear up pass.
It's known, I believe, as the senior span pod, isn't it? On those planets that's used larger than the super pods. That's right, super pods on the wings. What about the nose configuration of this one? I know they carry different examples of that as well, don't they?
There are different noses that you could put on the airplane, which is one of the things that adds to the complexity of landing the airplane, because sometimes the nose is longer than it is on other missions. So with the EOIR, the electrical optical infrared imagery sensor on the nose, it's a bit shorter than the one you would see with the synthetic aperture radar, which is a much longer nose. When you fully land the airplane with the synthetic aperture radar, you can't see the runway because the nose is so long it tilts up as you go to land on the tail wheel that it completely hides the runway, which is why the mobile officer is there to assist in landing.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. Is it still the Dodge Charger that's used as the chase car?
The interceptor package that we use with the police in the United States.
Yeah.
That's right, Dodge Charger.
Yeah. So just explain what's going on here in the display.
So today, what we just saw was just a normal takeoff being brought around to the gear up pass, which, as I said before, is something you're not going to see in any other air show, because we typically leave the gear down. After the gear up pass, we're going to a high keys. It's going to be a no-flap, simulated flame-out approach. So what's happening now is the pilot is simulating that the engine has failed and a loss of hydraulics, which aids in drag of the airplane.
Now, while the aircraft is in mission fit for this demonstration, I'm expecting that the pilot is not in mission fit himself in terms of what he's wearing in the cockpit.
So because the pilot isn't going to be going above Armstrong's line today, he will not be in, as we call it, a space suit, but he will be in just a classic flight suit. He's going to look like every other pilot, unfortunately for him. So the profile that you're seeing now is what the U-2 would be doing if it had an actual flame out. The drag that you're seeing is simulating the drag of the loss of thrust. So really the U-2 is a glider with an engine, and which is why it would be able to glide from that current position all the way back to the runway.
This absolutely incredible design, conceived, as I say, in the 1950s by Clarence Kelly Johnson, the legendary boss of the Skunk Works Advanced Development Project team at Lockheed. And of course, it was necessary to achieve optimum performance for the sort of long-endurance, high-altitude reconnaissance missions that this aircraft, right from the outset, was conceived to fly. I believe here we're going to see the chase cars really coming into play again. So what will the pilot be hearing from the chase car as he makes this low approach?
As the pilot's approaching the runway, the car will be driving onto the runway unless they're doing a static call, and they'll be talking the pilot down. Now what they're doing there is they're telling the pilot how far above the runway they are, typically from 10 feet down to the runway. And we count down in 2s, 10, 8, 6, and so on. The rate at which the mobile officer is making those calls tells the pilot a lot as to how he needs to react. And he's more than just a radar altimeter. You can tell the pilot more left rudder, less left rudder.
And there we can see the car entering the runway. 2019, and very well established for hanging across the flight line there. So you see today is 40% larger than the original one that came here during that weather research, as we like to call it. And it's almost entirely a different aircraft because of its size. With that 40% larger capability, with all 4,000 pounds of equipment, over 70,000 feet to stay there for up to 12 hours. And the 99 PRS very much on board all the time for real-world operations. Absolutely, the 99 is extremely busy, as are all the U-2 squadrons around the world. You can bet that there is a U-2 airborne 24/7, 365 somewhere in the world. Now, I just heard the pilot telling the tower that this is going to be a full-stop landing on this approach. This will be a full-stop landing, so you should see the chase car sitting up right next to the airplane as it's landing, with the mobile officer providing those directives and forward calls down to touching down that very fragile aircraft. And let's just reflect on the fact that when they return from operational missions, the pilots will be doing so in the, quote, space suit, and after a sort of it could last for 10 hours or more.
That's absolutely right. So that pilot, after a long sortie, is definitely feeling the fatigue of sitting in one spot for that long. And the aid of your wingman in the car being able to assist you really helps us get through some real sticky situations with bad weather and things that can really jeopardize any flight operation. So touching down now after an incredibly rare demonstration, the Lockheed U-2S of the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, U.S. Air Force. And I think we'd all agree, long may these aircraft stay here, Papa. Long may these aircraft. An aircraft that has outlived so many of Kelly Johnson's other creations for the Lockheed Scuffworth. And justifiably so, such as the capability it continues to provide. As the aircraft rolls past here, what's the tail arc we can see on it? The tail arc you're seeing is the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron's Friday patch. Ah, it's a dragon with a top hat sipping a cup of tea. Very nice indeed. And people can get up close to one in the more standard fit in the static park. That's right, the clean airplane is that we usually use for pattern operations is over in static, and you can absolutely go take a look at that. And again, where else will you see that? They can also take a look at your airplane. It happens to be sitting very close by. It's a 1939 Fairchild Argus, in case people didn't know. Well, Popeye, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Do thank the crew who put on that demonstration, and we hope the wind conditions are suitable for a repetition tomorrow. Let's hope it does. Scott Thompson there, helping me talk through a tremendous exhibition of the U-2S.
One line. Oh, I know. I'm going to go. Go on then. Right.